Hi everybody! So I have a reading for you today that I'm looking forward to doing. So why don't we get started? So this is going to be your Monday guidance reading. Don't mind me, I've got some allergies from the massive amounts of pollen flying through North Carolina. So if you see me tear up, it's not that I'm sad. It's that I have the sudden urge to sneeze. Okay. Alright, so why don't we start here? So we're going to use a series of decks today. The first is going to be the Numerology Oracle, and we're going to use that. We're going to use the CBT deck. It is not actually an oracle deck. It is used for therapists, which is why I love it, because you are getting, very, very good advice from this deck. And then we're also going to use the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, and then message from the guides today. Okay. So if you want to take, let's start the day 2. Since you're looking at this with me, I'm going to try not to go into 7 minutes. I'm going to try to be 4. So if you want to take some deep breaths with me, so you're breathing in and then breathing out for a count of 5. Breathing in and out for a count of 5. One more. Breathing in and out for a count of 5. And you want to tense your knuckles as hard as you can. Release. We're going to do a couple more breaths. 3 actually. Breathing in. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one last one. Breathing in. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And if you want to pause this video and continue that, the last thing is you tense your shoulders really hard. And you do that for like 10 seconds, as long as it feels good. And then you do the breath again after you release. And then examine how you feel. And I learned that from these cards, by the way. Okay. Alright, so for our guidance for the week, we got a few things here. Alrighty. Okay. So, to start out, we're going to look at our Rider-Waite-Smith. So, we first got the world. Now, the world represents both the beginning and the end. So, the world is surrounded, she's surrounded by a circle, right, or by an oval, and ovals don't have an end and they don't have a beginning. So this is saying that you are moving into your new cycle. You have finally finished this cycle that you've been living in, and this is the finishing point. You are finishing out one of your patterns, one of your cycles, one of something, and you need to give yourself a pat on the back, right? Because you got plan rewarding activities. So you need to reward yourself. You need to notice those little wins throughout the day. Mark down your little wins. That's going to make a huge difference. Huge, huge, huge difference. So write down 3 activities that you would like to do more often that bring you an enjoyment or a sense of accomplishment. Plan a specific time in your calendar to do one of these activities each day for the next 3 days. Notice any effects these activities have on your emotions. So there you go. And I'm seeing that with this, finishing out this cycle, something else that comes up is we have the 3 of Cups here, right? So we showed 3 women, 2 is duality. Then when you bring in a third, that is the manifestation of the duality, of the 2 coming together. You could look at it as 2 people having a baby. There's the third. In order to make that happen, it took the conscious creation of both one parent and the other. So in this case, it's not apparent, but what I'm seeing is it is celebration, it is coming together, it is moving, and I see this as really looking at making sure that you're getting enough alone time. Or, on the other hand, if you're on the opposite side of the spectrum, make sure that you're getting out enough to actually celebrate with others. So you may be over celebrating and not dedicating enough alone time to yourself, or on the other hand, you may be not going out enough and only isolating yourself. So you're being called to do whichever one that is off balance, right? So the whole goal of tarot, or one of the goals, is to help us come back into balance with the highest version of ourselves, the happiest version of ourselves. So the Three of Cups here, and look, they're surrounded by abundance, fertility, amazingness. So that's there for you. Okay, and then we've got the Knight of Pentacles. And then we got the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So this is saying that though we're getting to the end of this cycle, that means that it's okay to stop chasing for a little bit. It's okay to stop chasing money, to stop chasing like the constant go, go, go energy, right? Because like the Knights are usually always moving. But with the Pentacles, they are going to be more grounded. So what I'm seeing is that it's important to still make sure that you're supporting yourself, but you don't need to focus totally on money all the time. You don't need to be overworking yourself, stressing yourself out just because you feel like you need to go above and beyond all the time. So this is saying that it's okay to go with what you need to do for a little while you take care of yourself. At the end of the cycle, you put in all this work. It's time for accomplishment. It's time to give yourself a day off. It's okay to have a day off. And on the other hand, if you're somebody who gives yourself too many days off, now is the time to really start putting in the work to making this happen. And you know who you are. If you're taking too many days off and you know that it's time to really just start grinding, trust that. If you know that you've been overworking the crap out of yourself, that it's time to relax. And either way, whether you're grinding or it's important for you to take a step back, you got this right here, which is take care of yourself. What's one nice thing that you can plan for yourself today that you'll look forward to and enjoy doing? Wow, very similar to our first card. Put it in your calendar at a specific time. It can be something small, like treating yourself to a fancy coffee drink or listening to your favorite music. It's hard to think of ideas. If it's hard to think of ideas, then imagine you are planning it for someone you deeply care about. Thoughts to ponder. Okay, now we're going to move on to our last three cards because I've already went into 7 minutes. I was like, I'm not going to do it. Oh, well. Okay, so the next one is don't relinquish your power. Okay, so it can be easy for us to really look at the outside forces as to what is to blame for where we are or why. And this is natural, this is normal, like that's the normal human experience. Like, right, we look at cause and effect and we're like, okay, well, you dropped that thing, it made me sad, so you made me sad. Like, that's just pretty natural to just go to that, right? Go to that thought, but instead this is calling you to create more control in your life. Not control in the way that you feel the need to control how every action is going to happen, but instead you're looking at how you can start consciously creating more. So looking at the cause of an effect of, okay, you dropped that, I got sad, now let's look at it in a different frame. Why did I get sad? What did that trigger to make me sad? How can I work through that trigger so that I don't get sad next time and I have more control over myself? A wise person just recently reminded me of the quote, you may not be able to control others, but you can control your reaction. Sorry, this not being straight is bothering me, so I'm trying to fix it. There we go. Okay, now lastly, we got spirituality. And this is calling us to not get too caught up in the physical and instead making sure that we're balancing our lives within our spiritual practices. So if you need time to go out and sit in nature, connect with the trees, connect with the earth, then do that. That's important. That's just as much a priority as you going and sitting down and working for somebody else. Your life is a masterpiece, and your life deserves effort and work into it too, because you're special. And so make sure you create time for those spiritual practices. You deserve it. And then we want to finish off with intuition, which is number 22. And we actually had 77. for spirituality. So if those numbers have meant something to you lately, that's your sign. So you got intuition, and this is saying that it's going to be important this week. Make sure you're listening to your intuition. Your intuition is going to guide you further down the path of what it is that you desire. So you may be traveling, right? And you may say, your brain randomly says, oh, I need to bring this paintbrush with me. And then your logic says, that is so weird. We're not bringing a paintbrush. That's just going to take up extra room. Well, you get to this place you're going, it turns out everybody's doing art, and you've always wanted to do art. You've never really done it. Now you don't have a paintbrush. Nobody has any extras. And now you wish you would have brought your paintbrush. Or maybe you suddenly get the urge to paint where you are for the first time forever. And that was your intuition speaking to you, saying that, hey, you're going to need this. So it's about trusting that. And also knowing that your intuition's never going to tell you to do anything that is hurtful, harmful, anything that is going to, and when I mean harmful, like physically harmful or like mentally, emotionally harmful to others, unless we're speaking our truth, right? Or we're called to speak our truth. And how we convey that message is up to us to convey that in a kind way. But our intuition is never going to tell us to do anything bad. It's never going to tell us to hurt another person. It's never going to tell us to do something stupid that's going to harm ourselves, like just doing something that is outright unsmart to our well-being. So look out for little cues that just more so seem random. They more so seem like, whoa, that seems weird. Why would I waste my time doing that? Or, whoa, that seems kind of silly. That's just going to be extra luggage to bring. So those are going to be your intuition, or maybe you suddenly get the urge to go to a grocery store and you don't know why. But trust those, because you may, listen to this, you may be exposed to, let's say you walk by a person, and then the person is talking about this new course that they entered, and so for some reason you're just like in on this conversation. You can just hear it, you're eavesdropping maybe. But they're talking really loud, so you're not trying to eavesdrop, but they're loud. And you hear about this course and you're like, oh my God, I was looking for a teacher that could teach me this. And that was the synchronicity. That's why you were supposed to go to that store, so that you could be guided to your next level of growth. Okay, so that was everything. I hope this helped. This is longer than I expected, but either way, I hope you take care. Let me know if you have any questions, and the Healer Certification course happens today, Reiki Certification Program. All right, thank you so much.